You just touched on one of our mutual friends, one of our mutual freedom fighters who has passed on.
Yes.
Talk to our audience about the impact of Dick Gregory from your perspective.
Well, you know, many people knew him as a comic, and as I talk with people like Trevor Noah and you know all of the wonderful comedians who are out there today, almost every one of them will give him credit for starting them to be more than just a comic, although it's important for us to laugh, but they've all done many things that move our people forward. But what people don't know is about the dangerous work that he did in the civil rights movement. He was the one who walked out there, you know, who faced the dogs, who faced who faced everything. He was not afraid. And that's why I said a while ago, he taught me never to be afraid to do something that you needed to do. And just recently, a film was made about him, which will tell people more than I can even tell you in the time we have. It's called Dick Gregory, the One and Only.
When they say this show features living color, you better believe it.
In about 6 more months, they're going to be forced to hire Negro bus drivers in Mississippi, so we're growing steering wheels so they can drive from the back of the bus.
His stage presence was so smooth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Gregory.
And that's one of the few documentaries or films you'll see where the person being talked about is the person talking. Most of the film came from him, so we know it isn't something we're making up. It's something he said, something we saw him doing in the civil rights movement. He was so very involved. He loved Malcolm X. He loved Dr. Martin Luther King. He worked with them, and he gave up so much.
He was in Mississippi when Meg Evans was killed.
Absolutely. Medgar was one of his best friends, and he always told me about that, and he said that but for the fact that his young son died that night, he would have been right there with Medgar. He was able to live and able to continue in the movement. But what I wanted to say, most of us are not able to give up millions of dollars for the causes of our people. Dick Gregory did that. It didn't matter how much it cost him. He stopped his comic work, but he entertained the people who were out there who maybe had a bit of fear for being out there in the civil rights movement, but they could at least have a laugh when Dick Gregory was around. And he continued that. No matter whose conference or convention or whatever it was, even if they didn't have the money, he was there to speak for them. He knew that he could give the people a few laughs, but he could also give them lessons in what we ought to be doing as a people. And he did that until the day he died. I remember the Saturday when he left us, he was talking about what was happening down in Virginia, you know, with the events they had there. And we were watching it, and with Boston. Boston was having a similar thing that same day. And while he had been lying in that bed, could hardly sit up, when that film came on about what was happening, he raised up in his bed and he said, "Wake up and stay woke." And that was his last message to us as a people. That was the last words I heard him say. That's why I named my radio program for him, Wake Up and Stay Woke. I named my book, Dick Gregory, Wake Up and Stay Woke, because that's so significant. That's what he always taught us. Like Eddie Robinson, you know, taught us, you don't leave the game until it's over. And as Black people, we know the game is not over. We've got to continue working for our rights, because even some of the ones we thought we had, we're losing them. And we're going back working to gain those rights all over again.